Welcome to Marketplace, where dreams are turned into reality. Marketplace is brought to you by Art of Skincare, the company that brings out the beauty in you, as well as Kuwisa Lodge, situated at the heart of Mabalingwa Nature Reserve. If tranquility is what you're looking for, then Kuwisa Lodge is the place to be. You know, you sleep, dream, wake up with the big five around you. What an experience. I am Charles Ngobeni. On Marketplace, we empower and equip you with the tools that you need to achieve your entrepreneurial dreams. Each week we bring you insight from experts in different fields of business, from men and women of faith. On today's episode, we meet an entrepreneur in the field of health, Mr. Bafana Mahesu. A network marketing guru once said, I'd rather have 1% generated by the efforts of 100 people than 100% of my own efforts. You know why? Because if you have 1% of 100 people, the day that one of them is sick, the other 99 of them are still working for you. But if you have 100% of your own efforts, the day that you can't go to work, the day that you have got a bad business deal, everything crumbles. That is one of the most effective ways to make money and grow in business. Bafana, welcome to Marketplace with Charles.
Thank you for having me on your show. It's a pleasure to be here.
I'm delighted to have you.
It's a pleasure.
I need you to tell me about your business.
Moringa King.
Yes.
It's a business that was established in 2014 by a team of people who were eager to actually, challenge the health issues that were faced by our people, especially within our communities. So I became part of the team of people that actually came together and developed, this business called Moringa King. The reason was that we had actually seen the health challenges which were faced, by our people, especially within the communities. And the fact that there was actually a plant which had been confirmed to be the healthiest plant in the world. Up to so far, Moringa in itself has become very big in the world over. So we started the company and we moved on to, try as much as possible to, develop the plans which made us to actually come up with a way of processing moringa into powder form. So basically, that is the little bit of background of the company itself. Over the years, we developed, different ways of actually getting the product out into the market.
Where is this plant grown?
The plant is, it's got its history. It's very much famous in places like India, where the plant is actually used for different medicinal, purposes. But our plants actually are grown within the SADC region of Africa, which is countries like your Zambia, your Zimbabwe, even some which are grown within South Africa, but it grows well in tropical areas. So with the plant itself, we actually get it from our farmers, which we have strategic partnerships with.
So I can basically have my own tree at home here in Johannesburg.
I wouldn't discourage that. Everybody's already, trying to plant the tree on their own. But you see, the one thing that determines the potency of the tree itself is the vegetation in which it's planted in, the environment in which it's planted in. So you would have it mostly grown in areas like Limpopo. As you go outside of Limpopo, Zim, outside of Zim, maybe towards, your countries like Zambia and such areas. So yes, people can grow it here, but I've never come across anybody who has grown it in Gauteng, but in places like, my hometown where I come from in Guyana, I can say almost, every house has got a moringa tree in it. Yes.
What is the core business of Moringa King?
Our core business is actually to, source moringa from our strategic partners in the SADC region. Our core business is to actually get the product moringa out to the people. What we have done up to so far is to actually, take the moringa in powder form and capsulated it, because what we discovered previously when we were, getting the product out in powder form, Some of our people were actually buying it, but now you would find them that that kept the product in their houses without utilizing it. Reason being that sometimes the taste in itself is not really that good for people who do not want to taste the bitterness of the moringa in itself. So what we do, based on the fact that we studied our market and tried to understand what would be best for them, we then took the powder and encapsulated it for the for the consumption, which is going to be easier for whoever that will be consuming it. Because when you take it in capsule form, you just simply ingest it, drink water, and it goes right into your digestive system. It breaks up and begins to do the good work that it normally does. Yes. So that is our core business. Our core business is to sell moringa out in different products, but up to so far, the product that has actually been out there in the market is the capsules. However, we do have moringa in sorghum porridge, which is it's got two flavors. It's got the banana and the strawberry flavor. We also have Moringa Mahesu, which also comes in two flavors. We also have moringa in the form of sour gums. We are actually now going into the plan of implementing moringa energy drink. So the formula is already there. It's just a matter of us, trying to move on with it and get it out into the market. But up to so far, the capsules are the ones that we are really pushing into the market.
And I suppose very soon you'll be trying Marula Moringa.
Yes. Well, at this point in time, we are actually looking at something that would be more of a health benefit without really intoxicating the individual himself. Yes.
But look, there are so many herbs out there. Why Moringa? What's so special with it?
With moringa, it's quite different because if you look at the history that actually goes with moringa, moringa has, the medicinal uses of moringa dates back to 1000 BC. 1000 BC, which actually translates to 1000 years before the birth of Christ. So meaning that, all those people that we normally read about in the scriptures, they might have one way or the other encountered moringa in their lives. So the herb itself is one of the best in the world. Up to so far, there's nothing that matches moringa in this planet that we live in. Moringa has 96 nutrients. So there's nothing that even comes close to moringa, because the one that comes close to moringa, I think it's got something like 24 nutrients. So the plant in itself is very rich in every possible way. That's why it's called a superfood. According to research done so far, and I think there's still going to be more research on the plant itself, is that it can assist with more than 300 illnesses. Some of the common ones, obviously, it would be your sugar diabetes, your high blood pressure, which is a common disease that's taking a lot of our people within our communities. So the plant itself is a superfood which is rich in all the nutrients that the body needs. It's rich in the antioxidants that the body needs. It's got the anti-inflammatory compounds in it. It also has the minerals which every person that needs in their body. So one thing for sure is we know for a fact that these days we have, with urbanization taking place, rural development, a lot of our people are eating a lot of processed foods. So moringa comes in and press a reset button and is able to adjust the body to its normal self and fight off diseases naturally. So the plant in itself is amazing. That's the reason why we went for it, because we believe in it and we believe that it can do a lot of things within the community.
When I grew up, we had a lot of moringa trees in our village.
Oh, that's good.
And my mother started a business out of it.
Wow.
She'll go from door to door asking for the leaves.
Yes.
And grind it into a fine powder.
Yes.
Pack it in a small plastic bag.
Yes.
And sell it.
100%.
But unfortunately, it was not sustainable.
At that time, yes.
Because, even after she's no more, the business is gone. How sustainable is your product in terms of sourcing the raw material, production, and marketing available to the customer?
Up to so far, I can say our sustainability as a business. We have a network that is very tightened up. It's built on very strong relationships. Our farmers, we have certain agreements with them, especially with the local people within the SADC region. So the sustainability part of it, from the raw material from the harvester, because we're talking about moringa trees that are at least a decade old. So it's people that we've had a relationship with for years, even before we even launched the company officially in 2014. the relationships had already been there, because in any business, sometimes one would start a business without officially registering the company. So those relationships had already been there, and to this day we still have those relationships. So from their harvester, we have our people actually sourcing Moringa from the SADC region in different quantities, and then we bring it into the country, where we have a certified miller who then grinds the miller in powder in a controlled atmosphere and room temperature in terms of drying it and everything, and then all the way to the pharmaceutical company that actually packages the product for us into capsules. So the sustainability in terms of getting the product all the way from the raw material to the packaging company that actually does our packaging, all the way to the retailer. The relationships have already been tightened up. And in terms of making sure that it's available to the market, we already have structures in place, like a branch which has already been opened in Giyani, where we have all the marketing material to get it out to the people. We have a well-packaged product which is very much appealing to the consumer at the end of the day. So, we have all the certifications in place, for the product to be, seen as a product that is healthy for the consumer. So the sustainability of it, over and above, it's 100%, and all is in check with agreements in place.
Take me through the certification. Which ones are those? Which bodies covered you?
SABS has already endorsed also the manufacturing process. We've had also big companies, I wouldn't want to mention their names, but they've actually come on board to do an audit on the process of manufacturing and packaging, and they've also approved. We also have, certification in terms of your ISO, in terms of, the quality standards, from, the time when it's being processed to the time when it's being packaged. In order for us to retain the quality standards and the potency of the Moringa, all those quality checks have been done, and also the Department of Agriculture has also approved our product as well.
Most of the drugs that are there are very good, but we also speak of drug abuse.
Yes.
Which is a way of using the drug in a wrong way.
Yes.
Sometimes to get high. Can I smoke this and get high?
One of the things that we try to do as Moringa King, especially with a product like Moringa, where people actually give it different names. Some see it as a herb, some see it as medicine. Now, possibly, some might even think that it can be smoked. But this is a superfood. It's nothing different from, the vegetables that we eat. But the only thing different with it is the fact that, it contains all the vitamins that the body needs. So it cannot be addictive at all. It's just food that one takes. And, it's not easy for people to access Moringa, especially in areas like your Gauteng. A lot of people don't even know it. And I've done my own survey, going to the ground levels and talking to people and trying to, engage them into, getting the product for their health benefits. So there's absolutely no way that, this can be seen as a drug. This can also not be seen as a medicine. It's just the effect that it does to the body. People would end up thinking that it's, people can call it a herb, but I love to say it's food. It's food, it's a superfood. It contains all the vitamins that one would get from spinach, from carrots, from any other vegetable you can name. All the vitamins are contained in Moringa.
Well, to my lovely viewers out there, I think this is the right time for me to take a short break to taste Moringa. We'll be back shortly.
Join Marketplace with Charles on an 11-day tour of the Holy Land from the 8th of December 2019. Take the route Israel traveled to the Promised Land, cross over the Red Sea, and float on the Dead Seas, the lowest point on earth with amazing healing properties. Experience the vibe of Jericho and cruise on the Sea of Galilee to Capernaum, the hometown of Jesus. Visit the pools of Bethesda, Nazareth, Bethlehem, and many more. Walk where Jesus walked and see the Bible come alive. If beautiful memories and an enriched spirit is what you are looking for, then join us in taking Jesus to the marketplace. For more information, call us on +27 72 123 0078 or email israel@artofskincare.co.za.
Welcome back to Marketplace with Charles. I am still sitting here with my lovely guest, Bafana. Bafana, do you mind to give us and our viewers out there a brief presentation of your business model?
Yes. Like I explained earlier, our core business is Moringa.
Yeah.
You know, our goal is to actually get Moringa out there into the public. What we did is, you know, we sat down and said, you know, yes, we can have people say we are able to take Moringa, but now we didn't want to have people take Moringa once off, you know, and then leave, you know, at some point in time. We wanted to encourage them to say, look, this is a plant which is going to be beneficial for every other challenge that you'd be facing. Our module in terms of, you know, the business itself is we created 3 packages that we thought that, you know, they can actually be more of a benefit to the consumer, therefore, you know, killing two birds with one stone. So with the Moringa, we attached a package which is, you know, the funeral cover. The reason being that, you know, there's a time to live, and we're encouraging our people to say, while you are still alive, sustain your livelihoods, fight against sickness and diseases that might be happening in the body that you might not know that they're taking place, because sometimes these things just happen, you know, overnight, where you find yourself, you know, in bed for something that has been developing in the system slowly. So with that, we then created a package that would be, you know, attached to the Moringa itself, which is in the form of a funeral cover. We created 3 packages, which is Moringa King 60, Moringa King 100, and Moringa King 150. What, you know, the 60, the 100, and the 150, it's actually the quantity of Moringa that is in the bottle. So with that, you know, we said, you know, with the 60 capsules, we are actually requiring the consumer to pay on a monthly basis 100 rand. As little as 100 rand, they can get Moringa, and at the same time, when they sign up with Moringa King, then they then you know, get the additional benefit of a funeral cover, which can pay up to 20,000, which is something that has never been seen before at all.
So are you saying we can't buy Moringa from you once off? It has to be a monthly subscription.
You know, it's possible. It's possible, but we always advise, you know, normally some people would say, before I can sign up, let me test your product and see how it can help me.
Yeah.
So what we would normally recommend is to say, okay, sign up for the 100 Rand package and try it. And if it works, then you can upgrade to the, you know, the 100 capsules or the 150 capsules. But if they want to buy once off, they still can have that ability to buy once off. But the thing is, with Moringa being a superfood, it's important for someone to take it not just once and think that they're going to get better. Because yes, you can take it for a month, and then after the month, then you know you go back to your same struggles again. So we are saying to our people, for as little as $100, you know, try to commit to living a healthy lifestyle. This is actually a lifestyle. In as much as a person has money to buy airtime and a person has money to buy takeaway food, why don't you take as little as 100 Rand to take care of whatever that might arise in the form of disease and sickness in the body? Because you never know.
What is the difference between 60,
Yes,
100,
yes,
and 150? I know it's a number of capsules inside.
yes, yes,
But how do you judge that I need 60?
100%.
And why is it I need 60, you need 100?
So if you look at 60 capsules, they are for a 1 month's supply of Moringa. And that is where we start off with signing up the people if they cannot afford the other subscriptions. Let me give you a little bit of history as to, you know, before we even did the 3 packages. Initially, we had 1 package, which was just 250. And when we went into the market, as you know, we tried to study the market, we tried to understand the people that we are trying to tap into. And, you know, the feedback that we got was that, you know, the 250 is a little bit expensive. how about maybe you drop it down a bit to something that is more affordable? And obviously, we are trying to tap into a market that cannot afford certain types of foods. So then we then said, okay, let's take down the number of capsules to 60, which will then have the guys buy the product for 100 Rand only. And then on the 100 Rand, they can also have that additional benefit of a 20,000 payout, but that is an individual funeral cover. Now, the 60 in itself is 1 month supply for an individual.
Yeah.
And then now we go now to the 100. The 100 is, 150 per month with a funeral benefit of 30,000. That's a payout.
But how many capsules do they get?
100 capsules inside.
And for how long should it last them?
That can also be for a month
Okay.
or going to 2 months, depending on how they take the capsules.
But for whatever package they sign with you, they pay on a monthly basis, and you still supply them on a monthly basis.
With Moringa.
Yeah.
With Moringa, yes.
So you don't say you have got 60, he has got 150. The 150 I'm not supplying you next month, you'll get it after 2 months.
No.
Okay.
No. For as long as you sign up with us on a month-to-month, subscription, there's absolutely no way that, we can say this month we'll provide you with Moringa and the next month we won't be able to provide you with Moringa, because at the end of the day, for the person to get that added benefit in the form of a funeral cover, they have to be signed up with us on a month-to-month basis.
And let's go back into the funeral cover.
Yes.
Does it cover yourself only, or your family, or your spouse? How far does it go?
Exactly. So with the 60 capsules, it's an individual funeral cover. It only covers you as the main member.
Yeah.
And then the 100 capsules, which is 150 per month,
Yeah.
with the payout of 30,000, it only covers you as an individual again, the main member. Now, with the one that has 150 capsules, which is 250 per month, that one is a family funeral cover, which covers the main member and the spouse and children up until 4 kids. Now, with the main member, they get a total payout of 30,000. The spouse and the additional, dependents, which is the children, they only get 20,000 payout. So all of the packages that we have, the age limit is 65. And for the children, the age limit is up until 18, until we can prove that the kids are full-time students, then the payout can actually go up until 25 years.
Do you perhaps offer any business opportunities with Moringa King? Because the way you explain it, it looks to me like it's a network system of some sort.
Yes. It's a new way of doing business, an innovative way. Since we're going into the 4th industrial revolution, it does not necessarily have to mean that innovation has to go in terms of technology and, all these other robotics. So we actually, with the Moringa attached to the funeral cover as well, we actually saw a need of also empowering the community as well. Since our core business is Moringa, we are able to then, get people to be trained about the product, the benefits of the product, to go out into the community and preach, about this Moringa. So what happens in that instance is that we get, agents like we did in my hometown in Guyana, where we have plus minus 20 agents who are under Moringa King. So what happens is they get to build up their own book in the process. And in the process of doing so, they get a share of whatever, money we get from, the subscriptions and everything. So they get a certain portion, which is a share of the proceeds that come towards Moringa King on a month-to-month basis. So they get to build their own books. They get to introduce whoever they want to introduce into the business. We give them free training, and we also, provide them with a little bit of marketing just for them to, to be seen, to be legitimate as whatever business that is, they're trying to sell out to the people. And at the same time, we also encourage those sales agents to go to emerging businesses which do not have some form of benefits for their employees, to train them and actually, get them to those businesses and explain the product and how that product can actually retain their staff. Number one, by the company being able to subsidize their employees. I know this from previous years that, people who work for certain companies, especially those without benefits, they would actually go to the employer, to seek assistance in terms of burials. So in this case, we are saying here is an opportunity where you can just, pay as little as $100, or depending on whichever package you take, to sustain your employees at work. So whoever that agent is, that actually gets us that opportunity to tap into those such companies. They get to keep the company as part of their book, and they develop money in that way. So we're not limiting anybody to say, if you get to this threshold, we cut you down. The sky is the limit. It depends on the individual.
If someone runs out of the capsule during the month,
Yes.
is there a way of getting a refill?
Yes, as part of keeping our environment safe and recycling, the same bottles that we'd give out to our consumers. We're actually going to actually have dispensers in our branches, where the individual can come with the same bottles, because it's a proper bottle which is good enough for one to refill it. So they would come back with that bottle, depending on the number of capsules that they have to refill with. We just simply refill the bottle, and then they then go and consume it. At the same time, we have branches where people can walk in, especially the guys who are signing up for the first time. They can walk in and actually get their Moringa capsules, from the branch itself. Other means which we are still going to develop as well within our communities, because we tend to study the communities. We tend to understand what are the needs within the communities, especially when it comes to, your logistics and distributing our Moringa. So we then are partnering now with, some pharmacies, where people who are closer to that particular pharmacy can actually go and get, their monthly supply of Moringa from there. So that is also another opportunity for the pharmacy to, get more feet into their pharmacy, and at the same time, make a little bit of money in the process.
If someone wants to get hold of you, say, I'm interested in Moringa King, I'm interested in this business opportunity.
Yes.
How do they get hold of you?
100%. You can get hold of us on 012-664-2742. That is our head office number. Directly, you can call Bafana on 079-869-8036. And another additional number is 061-548-1346. And we'll be there to assist with whatever means they want to, from our side.
And I am Charles Ngobeni, signing off on Marketplace. You can get hold of me on charlesngobeni.com, Instagram Charles_Ngobeni, Facebook you can follow me, or you can also go on YouTube and search for the repeat of this episode. We are also going to Israel in December, leaving December 8th, and we'll be happy to have you on board. Maybe you'll be lucky enough to taste Moringa all the way to Israel and back. God bless you. See you next time, same channel, same place.